Alrighty, this is the second video on the Vault of Micah YouTube channel. This is going to serve as the formal intro to what I'm going to be doing in the vault. So, if you're watching this video, welcome to the vault. I'm Micah, and I am the owner of the vault. So, what are you going to find inside the vault? Inside, you'll find things like my insights on life, my insights on people, the way I think about the world, and the way I use concrete logical thinking behind the things I believe and the things I say. You'll find a lot of analogies and a lot of allegories. I think a lot of analogies, or at least I communicate my ideas in analogies because they are a universal way to transport ideas and overall like things that are more complex. You're going to find a lot of deep talks and a lot of rants. They're not all going to be of me sitting at this desk. A lot of them are actually older from me at my other desk over there. Some of them are from when I was in California or like when I'm with other people. So there's content like that. I'm definitely going to be big on motivational content. Things that just allow you to take control of your life. That's like one of my main things is like take control of your life. If something is wrong, take responsibility to change it. Even if there's always something you can do to get the things you want. There's always something that you can do to make a situation better. Even as small as changing the way you think about it. There's always something. To even think like that, to think that there's always something. That's what I try to perpetuate. A lot of people have potential. People need to live up to their potential. People need to grow. So I'm big on that stuff, motivational content. People need to pursue things. One of the things you'll find inside the vault are these, I call them like tools. It's very similar to the analogies and allegories, but these are like specific analogies and allegories that I call tools that I use to help me think about situations that I find myself in my daily life. So these are tools that I've created that help me think. They help me stay stoic. They help me refrain, like if I find myself slipping out of line or like slipping into some like negative routine, thought process, or habit, etc. These are like things that I use to bring myself back out of there. So if they work for me, if I found them useful, you might find them useful as well. Actually, you know what? Since we're on that topic, for example, one of the things I do is I write these papers that I just sometimes paste on my wall every now and then because sometimes I just get so caught in the monotony of things. And especially since my environment isn't always encouraging of the trajectories that I want to pursue, like I inject things into my environment so that way it creates a feedback loop. So one of the things I've done was I've created one of these papers. This is quite old now. I made this back in September and I was using it for a while. Or not September. It was around December when I made this one. But I had two other ones that I made in, I don't know, October or November. And I just had them. Like I had one like right above my bed, just on the ceiling. And the other one I've had on my computer screen, which was like a flip. So in order to use my computer, I had to like flip the thing over. The biggest question on here is this what the person you want to be would do? The person who you want to be, are the actions you are taking now the same actions that they would take? If they are, then good. But if they are not, why not? Dive into that. These are things that help me stay on my path and pursue the right things. And then lastly, I will be telling personal stories. They will probably be augmented but it's not really about people. It's more of about like the deeper things. That the individual person is not really important. It's more of the underlying aspects of that person's mind or like something that happened in the situation, things like that. So I will be telling personal stories that serve as real examples of the things I speak about. So the analogies, the allegories, the insights, everything. If that is anything that entices you, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know. Stay tuned. There's a lot of stuff coming. This is the second video. First video I uploaded yesterday. Now that the goodies are all listed out, I want to mention some requirements from you, the viewer. These are the requirements to be somebody who's actually worthy of being inside the vault. So the first thing I have is you must avoid the trap of understanding. Now, what is the trap of understanding? Okay, basically, this is what it is, right? It's like a more of a subconscious thing. Someone might understand an idea about like people. They might be like, oh wait, I know this. I can see this in other people. But then they won't realize that very thing they see or that very thing they understand is part of themselves. Understanding the things that I speak about does not mean you're above them. You might agree with something that I bring up or be intrigued by something I'm talking about, but the chances are you'd be an example of the things that I speak against or the things that I speak about. So that's the first thing. You must avoid the trap of understanding. Just because you understand that's not good enough. It's not good enough until you embody certain things. if you embody certain qualities, if you are that quality. You can understand it and not be it. Okay, for example, like understanding addiction. Let's say someone understands that there is a pattern. Let's say like someone gives someone a paper, and on that paper is like a step-by-step rubric on how people get addicted. Like these are the step-by-step actions that are taken. And then it's also like known that people do these things very easily. Now, someone who can understand, who falls into the trap of understanding, might say, "Oh, wait, I see these steps. Huh. I haven't done these steps, so I'm not going to fall into these steps, but all these other people have." Then a week later, they're falling into the same patterns and getting addicted to something. That was a weird analogy. But basically, it's just because you understand, that does not mean you're above the law. Because you understand, it's like unless you embody it and you can show examples of when you weren't that thing and examples of when you were that thing, that's when you're above the things that you understand, if that makes sense. All right, so number 2, you must gain value. In today's day and age, people consume content, people consume all sorts of stuff, and it's just like, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be positive content, negative content, brain rot. It can be any kind of content. You must gain value from mine. Otherwise, what are you doing here? Because like I'm providing things that I found to be useful, that people have told me are useful, things that people have found insightful. So I'm providing these things, I'm sharing these things, and I don't really intend for my content to just be like watched while laying back on the couch eating popcorn or something. No, my stuff is designed, it's purposed to have you gain something and do something with your own life, to expand your mind, to grow. Because that's what I'm trying to do with my own stuff. Grow, do more, live up to your potential, do better things, become a better person, make the world a better place. That's the goal of everything that I'm doing. And it's also just like giant catalog for myself too. So my content it's not merely entertainment. And if you think that my content, or if you've watched my other videos and now you're watching this one, and you think of my content as just pure entertainment, then you just have no purpose here. There's no point, because that you're not my target audience. I'm targeting people who actually will find value from these things, who will actually apply them and grow. And then that kind of leads into my third point. The third one is, you must want to grow. You must want to be a better person, and you must be able to do what it takes to grow. That means making hard decisions, to put your ego aside, to do many different things. These are the things that are necessary. I want to attract those who truly want to grow, those who want to maximize their lives, those who want to become better thinkers and live up to their potential. Everybody has so much potential in the world to do great things, but most people just don't get there because they don't see that in themselves. A lot of people have great potential, great potential. Those are the people that I want to attract to my channel and to my pages. If this describes you, if I said this and it resonates with you, then you found your home. Like, this is the place for you. And if this is not you, if you don't, okay, right? This might not be you now. Don't be afraid. If this is your ideal version of yourself, that is good. And as long as you're willing to make an action to be that type of person, then you're also part of the target audience. If you want to grow, again, you must want these things. But if you're just someone, like, you don't really want to expand your mind, you don't really want to grow, you don't want to become a deep thinker. A lot of people, they'll say that I'm thinking too deep or whatever. They won't understand. My content is not for those types of people. So if you're one of those types of people, like, you don't want to grow, you don't want to understand, you don't want to think better, you don't want to articulate yourself in certain ways. If you don't want those things, then this content's not for you. And it's almost funny because when I say these things out, like black and white, it sounds very, very easy to say, oh yeah, like this is not good and this is good. But then when it comes to the real world and to people's day-to-days, when you're not watching this video, when you're actually living out a scenario in your life, you will do things that just show you aren't that kind of person. But again, like, if you have the self-awareness to identify this in yourself, whether you are this type of person who wants to grow, to be better, to make the world better, and to do what it takes to fight against yourself, to make yourself better, to fight your ego, if that's you, then please stay. And if that's not you, let this be the last video of mine you watch. I do not care. Please go away. Because people like you turn into haters. You hate people like me because I'm doing something and you're not. Yeah, I know some people like that. So that is the intro to the vault. As more content comes out and as I shape my account, this intro video will probably be re-recorded multiple times to just match the types of content that's coming out here. But I think that this is a really good foundation of everything that's going to be going on. So if you're intrigued and if you like what you hear so far, also go check out my other video if you haven't watched it. It's just kind of me throwing a video out there because I needed to get a video out there, and I'm trying to currently do one video daily. So yeah, stay tuned. That's the intro to the vault. Welcome to the vault.